Yes. 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 Patar.
Hare
Petar.
Krishna, Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Sorry for waiting. Didn't expect to talk first. So please accept my humble obeisances.
Yes.
First of all, just want to say a few thanks. First thanks is to Nicola Bochkai Prabhu for telling me for this pranam course. Second thanks is to Amritanand Prabhu for being host every Sunday in our Zoom calls. And third thanks is for all devotees and devotees from my Pranam Batch Group 13. So I have one question. So the question is about downfall in Bhakti Yoga. So what I want to ask is, what is downfall in Bhakti Yoga? And if I'm struggling with, let's say, 2 of 4 regulative principles and still trying to do my japa and still trying to serve and still trying to be with the devotees and still trying to read devotional literature, so that's my question. What is downfall? And if I'm like struggling with principles and still trying to serve, what is the results and the goal?
Downfall is only when you turn away from God. If you're still trying to approach God, to come closer to Him, He appreciates your endeavors. Ultimately, success is not in our hands. The forces which we are facing are very strong. So, Srila Prabhupada appreciated struggle of his followers. He said, see how he's struggling for Krishna. So please don't worry. It's not easy with our background, with our history, with our karma, with the culture which we are brought in to follow all the regulative principles. It will take some time and mostly, if we have good association and encouraging association, it will come. It will definitely come. Gradually, it will come. So the result is glorious. You're fighting for Krishna, you're struggling for Krishna, you're trying to follow the principles. And even though sometimes you fall, you deviate, it's not a problem in itself. The main thing is that we should not give up. And we should always remember that Krishna has a lot of patience. It's not that he counts, okay, 1 mistake, 2 mistakes, 3 mistakes, 4 mistakes, enough. I don't want to deal with this person anymore. No, he's always there. He's always there. So just, the fall down, the real fall down is when we become offensive and when we make philosophy out of our offenses. Even offenses may not be so bad if we don't create a philosophy around these offenses and justify our offenses. If we regret that we committed some offenses and sincerely beg forgiveness, that's okay. But the real downfall, as you said, is when we commit mistake and make the whole philosophy from our weaknesses, to justify our weaknesses, to say that this is okay to be weak and this is actually good, this is actually proper, and everything else is just fanatical Hare Krishna inventions or something like this. So just keep on trying. And please remember that Krishna will compensate for all your weaknesses. He is there in your heart, and he appreciates your sincerity.
Thank you, Maharaj.
I forget to do one thing. I forget to chant some Mangala Charana, so let me chant this. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarine Dantah Pradeshya Mama Vachimamam Prasuptam Sanjeevaya Takila Shakti Daraswadamna Anyam Shahasta Charana Shravanat Vagadim Pranannamo Bhagavate Purushaya Tubhyam Svasyastu Vishwasya Kalah Prasidatam Deyantu Bhutani Shivam Mithodya Manascha Vadram Bhajata Tadakshache Aveshyatam Naumatir Adhyahaitu Ki. Okay, so there is. Okay, so let's ask Smriti, and then we will ask somebody else.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. How glorious to have your association for 2 days in a row. My question is about the spiritual world. So, in order to understand the spiritual world, you need to be in an elevated state. But what does the spiritual world mean for a neophyte devotee with less faith? How does it add to a bhakta's sadhana in early spiritual life?
What does spiritual world means?
Yeah,
For
for someone with not so much faith, it's hard for a neophyte to understand. How does it add to our sadhana?
see, Srila Vyasadeva, in his samadhi, he get the direct darshan of Krishna and the spiritual world and spiritual reality. He received this Purusham Purnam vision of Krishna in his complete form. And he described it in Srimad Bhagavatam. So spiritual reality, which was reflected directly in the heart of Vyasadeva, his heart was completely pure, especially after meeting with Narada Muni. So the spiritual reality reflected in his heart. He saw this reality, and he expressed this in the transcendental words of Srimad Bhagavatam. And when we read Srimad Bhagavatam, and when we hear the descriptions of Srimad Bhagavatam, when we hear how other people explain Srimad Bhagavatam, the little glimpse of this spiritual reality comes to us. And we may not feel it all the time. We may only feel it a little bit here and there sometimes, that yes, this very beautiful, very amazing, very blissful spiritual reality is there. And actually the world which we are in is the reflection of this spiritual reality. So sometimes this glimpse of this realization is coming because of us hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. So spiritual reality is descending upon us. And of course, when we are in a stage of sadhana, it doesn't descend in its full glory. It's not that all of a sudden we will see how Krishna is playing the flute and, jumping around, imitating frogs with his hands, and sometimes mimicking monkeys or something like this. No, it will take some time, but still, I didn't hear it so much about Srimad Bhagavatam, but I hear it again and again and again from people who read Bhagavad Gita. They sometimes have very pronounced and very clear feeling. Yes, it is true. Yes, it is true. This very loud yes resounds within our heart when we hear the description of spiritual world, or when we hear the words of Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. So that's our experience of spiritual reality. Yes, it's true. I don't understand how it is true. I don't really understand all the details, but you know, at one point you will meet Krishna face by face. He is waiting for this moment.
Thank you very much. That's very convincing. Thank you.
Yes, Ramananda Prabhu.
Thank you very much, Maharaj. I have some more complicated questions. If you don't mind me throwing these at you.
No, I'm happy because I have complicated mind, so I like complicated questions.
Okay, so if you meet a wealthy person, you may think that this guy is made of money. So Madhvacharya, in his commentary on the Vedanta Sutra, he uses this word Mayamayam, which means that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu, he's made of Maya. So is the Lord's Yogamaya potency, it's usually referred to as his Sarup Shakti, but often it's referred to as his Chit Shakti. So are not the Sandini, the Sanvit, and the Hladini potencies simply different aspects of the Yogamaya or the Sarup Shakti? And is not Yogamaya or the Sarup Shakti, when it's called Chit Shakti, is it because it refers to Krishna's consciousness, his consciousness? That's why it's called Chit Shakti.
Yeah. So, see, Krishna only has one energy, and this energy is called Chit Shakti. It's spiritual energy. He has only one Shakti. This Shakti manifests in multifarious ways. It manifests as Maya for us, conditioned living entities. It manifests as Yoga Maya for those people who are free from it. It manifests the Hladini Shakti or Samvit Shakti. It's all aspects of the same one energy. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he explains this in great details in Jaiva Dharma. He says that this Chit Shakti has 3 Prabhavs, 3 Vaibhavs, and 3 Anubhavs. 3 Anubhavs of Chit Shakti, if I'm not mistaken, is 3 Anubhavs is Sanvit, Sandini, and Hladini. Anubhav basically means experience. So this is 3 aspects of one energy of the Lord as Anubhav. So we experience the existence, we experience the consciousness, we experience that we are existing, and we are conscious of ourselves and conscious of the reality. And we experience bliss, of course. So this is 3 Anubhavs. 3 Vaibhavs of the same energy is Antaranga Shakti, Bahiranga Shakti, and Tatastha Shakti. So this is Vaibhav. This is a special manifestation. Vaibhav is coming from Vibhav. Bhav means existence or manifestation, and Vibhav is special manifestation. So the same Chit Shakti manifests as internal energy, as external energy, and as marginal energy. So this is 3 vaibhavs of the same Chit Shakti. And it has 3 prabhavs, or 3 influences, or 3 powers, so to speak, which is Bala Jnana Kriya, or Ichha Shakti and Kriya Shakti. And so I don't want to create more confusion. We're already confused as living entities. But basically, you're right. There is only one energy. And this energy is commonly called Chit Shakti, but it has so many different manifestations. So it has 3 realms to manifest itself: Antaranga Shakti, Bahiranga Shakti, and Tatastha Shakti. And it has and it gives 3 experiences: experience of existence, experience of consciousness or knowledge, and experience of bliss. And it manifests as different desires, spiritual desires. So that's what it is. Did I answer your complicated question?
That was absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. I have studying to do.
Okay.
Do you have time for one more, even more complicated question?
No, let's ask some other people.
Okay.
Yes. If Shiv is there, who's the next one?
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandot Pranam. Can you hear me all right, Maharaj?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, Maharaj, a question about Giriraj Govardhan. How to perceive Govardhan, and what's the right mode of worship for the Giriraj Govardhan? Because he's sometimes I feel like, okay, he's the expansion of Krishna because he's taking care of the cows and the Brajavasis like how Krishna did. Or I've also heard he's Hari Dasa Varya. Or I also heard Radharani had a prerequisite condition that for the Baumalila, the Yamuna and Giriraj must be there on the earthly planet before they could do the Baumali. So how should we perceive when we are worshipping? What's the mode of worship of Giriraj? Please.
The mode of worship very much depends on the worshipper. And Giriraj accepts different modes of worship. Oftentimes we see Giriraj as being worshipped as Krishna himself, and he himself said during Govardhan Leela that I am no different from Giriraj. So this is definitely an authorized mode of worship, Giriraj. There are different opinions in this regard, but this is definitely an existing and authorized bona fide mode of worship, Giriraj as Krishna himself. And you can see it in many places in Giriraj Govardhan. Krishna, people worship him as Krishna. And there is basically another worship of Giriraj as Haridasa Varya, as the best of the servants of Krishna, which is actually the words of Srimati Radhika herself. This is what Raghunath Das Goswami explains in his prayers, that these words are coming from the lotus mouths of Srimati Radharani when she says, what is it? Antavyam, Adriya Balam Haridasa Varya. When she says, Yadrama Krishna Charanas Parasha Pramoda. There is no argument about this. It's just different modes of worship. Sometimes people think that if you worship Giriraj as Krishna himself, it's the highest. But in my humble opinion, how Srimati Radharani sees Giriraj, this is the highest possible way of worshipping Giriraj. So But again, they're all bona fide ways of worship.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you.
Actually, you know, when it comes to worship, it's a question of guru to give you the mood, how to worship. It's the fifth stage of initiation. Initiation, as we know, has pancha samskaras, and first samskara is tapa samskara, and then urdhva pundra, and then nama, and then mantra, and then yaga. Yaga is the fifth samskara of initiation, and when you're properly initiated, it means that you received a particular mode of worship of your Ishta Devata or your worshipable deity from your guru. It's not that I sit somewhere in a corner and I scratch my head and I think, let me worship Krishna this way or that way, in this form or that form. If you want to be bona fide, you have to receive this mode of worship from your spiritual master, who will give you the deity to worship and explain in which mood you should approach this deity.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you very much. It's clear.
Yes. Yes, Prayagraj.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
So,
Krishna.
it's more a generic question in context with the instructions I received from you. How to maintain optimism and keep sharpening our intentions in this Bhakti Marg when reversals and challenges around us keep testing us constantly in bit more and more as time progresses. This is especially to draw the encouragement from Srimad Bhagavatam and corroborative scriptures of our Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. So that's what my, I would like to get more instructions. And
How to sharpen or how to sharpen your intentions in Bhakti.
yeah, objectives, and then maintain that optimism in the path of bhakti and preaching, because I can't see more profound experience than you have in this entire journey. Anyone else?
The best way to maintain enthusiasm and purity is actually to preach. When you're trying to preach, first of all, you're preaching to yourself. And you're repeating something which you heard. And while repeating what you heard, you're hearing it yourself, and you are also saying, yes, it's right, it's correct. So actually, the best way to maintain the purity of intentions is to preach about the purity of intentions. And while preaching to others, you will also be affected by your own preaching. You will also be moved that this is right, this is correct, this is what we should do, this is how it is. Otherwise, it's just cheating under different pretexts. So that's my experience. And that's exactly why I'm here in front of you. I could have been sitting here, but I thought it's better for me to preach to you. And in this way, maintain the purity of intentions and the strength of intentions. Yes, Damadara Priya, and then we'll ask Upagupta Prabhu, who is sitting in front, to ask his question.
Personally, Maharaj, you can ask.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj.
His question may be relevant to others.
Okay.
Yes, Damadara Priya.
Yes. Guru Maharaj, my question is practical about the balance between sadhana and our personal necessities. What I find for myself is when I give enough space to my personal demands, like to walk, to clean the house properly, to associate with relatives, to swim, like that, like just simple personal demands. Then I feel guilty for not giving so much time to sadhana and preaching. But when I give more time to sadhana, then I feel dissatisfied and anxious because I don't fulfill some of my demands. So it seems to me maybe the solution is not about is about being where you are while you are doing it, but maybe there is something else that you could suggest.
You should not call it demands. Demands, when you call it demand, it sounds a little whimsical. Yes, I demand. It's your requirements. If you call it requirements, it's something which you require. You require to clean your house. You require to associate with the devotees. You require to do some physical exercises. It's a necessity of your life to maintain your life and to maintain sanity and to maintain balance in your life. So you should not feel guilty. It's a part of your, we should not really, as devotees, to divide our life into this is sadhana and this is my life. My whole life is sadhana. Ideally, we should consider that whatever I'm doing, this is part of my sadhana, of my service to the Lord, or my, not service in real sense, by my attempts to serve the Lord. So, don't divide it like this and don't look down, this is my demands. This is not demands. This is just necessity of your life. And maintain your sanity. Krishna doesn't want insane, fanatical devotees who, who are completely, and it doesn't bring any good to you and to anyone else. Just maintain your balance, be yourself, and try to do whatever you can. Just preach to others and try to be kind to other people. I was just in another meeting, and one Mataji said that this is the two rules which she is trying to follow. If she can preach directly to other people, at least she can be kind to other people. And that's also part of your Krishna conscious life, to manifest kindness, to manifest good qualities. This is also very essential. Okay.
Thank you very much, Guru Maharaj. Thank you.
Let us ask Upagupta Prabhu. He's sitting in front. He can ask, and if you don't hear, I will repeat his question.
You can ask.
Maharaj, this is regarding chanting. Many of us start with offensive chanting, and very few move forward to the higher stages. But many of us also go back and we see the manifestation or the manifestation of the five reactions of continuing to chant, like people start proud of, and many of us don't move forward. What is the single most factor or the multiple factors to take one step right down further of offensive chanting, or go forward starting from offensive chanting,
what is the most important factor which helps us to move forward? We can very clearly see it from these manifestations of offensive chanting, from these side effects of offensive chanting. First of which is cautilium, crookedness. Crookedness basically means that you become internally proud and you look down at other devotees. And you think you're the best and you appreciate Krishna, but you don't appreciate other devotees. So this is the scenario which can easily take place if this association of devotees, sangha of devotees. So the single most important quality or factor to progress in our chanting is to remain in the association of sincere devotees as their humble servant. To maintain the humility in the association with other devotees, then you will be moved forward, you will be pushed forward. Whereas if you become little separatist, you develop separatist mentality. I'm the best. I'm very special. I have so many special qualities. I know better. Yeah. And so then it's already the result of your offenses, and you will not recover from the results of the offenses, and this spiral will go down, 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 down to this daksha-like mentality. So just maintain good association and try to be as sincere and as straightforward in the association with devotees. As simple. Like Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada says that Saralata is the main quality of Vaishnava. He's straightforward. He's open. If he has some problems, he expresses these problems. He doesn't want to pretend to be something else. So that's what Krishna appreciates, and that will safeguard you from the offenses. And your sincerity of your chanting will become more and more. Okay. Yes, Ushi. Yesterday you wrote a question. You can ask it now.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. Of course, to Srila Prabhupada. I'm very happy to see you and that you're doing a bit better. I changed my question from yesterday, but I'll ask a new one. So we were in a Sangha and we were discussing Srila Prabhupada's purport in 1.2.20, and when he says that a qualified Brahmana factually becomes a Vaishnav and then live in state of liberation, he can know what is the personality of Godhead. And we were discussing if being a Brahmana is a prerequisite to becoming a Vaishnav. And we were saying that we're all born in a Varna based on our past karma. So does that change throughout our lives as we try to become devotees and Vaishnavas? Because like the modes that we're in also change, which would also change our Varna. And then generally there's just a lot of discussion. I like Mother Urmila will say that the Varna, you're only in one Varna, whereas like a lot of people will say, oh no, but I feel like I sit between this Varna and that Varna. And then I guess I'm also asking this question because in like the Crisis of Faith lecture, you talk about how having this healthy state of false ego is also good because it can help us to get to spiritual ego. So I guess a question is like, how do we develop this healthy state of Varna, and does it really change to get this strong spiritual foundation as well? Sorry, that was a bit convoluted, but
there is a lot of confusions about this Varnas things. We have our nature, whatever we call it. Varna literally means color. So we have our color, we have our nature. It's more or less fixed. Our nature manifests mostly through our motivations. If our predominant motivation is to teach other people and to study ourselves, that manifests the nature of Brahmana. If our predominant motivation is to protect other people and to give them some shelter and to help them, anyway, to give them some sort of protection, main motivation to the second one. If our main motivation is just to enjoy life, enjoy social interactions, and live a healthy life, then it's motivation of Vaishya. And if our motivation is to get protection, to get some security, if the main motivation which drives us is just to to get some more secure, this, fix that, and whatever it is, then it's motivation of a Shudra. So this is how we should recognize our general nature. And it should not be confused with when Prabhupada speaks about Brahmana, first we should become Brahmana, then become Vaishnava, he mostly speaks about developing Sattva Gun. And you can remain very Sattvic Vaishya, you can remain very Sattvic Shudra, you can remain Sattvic Kshatriya, or you can be Sattvic Brahmana. It basically means it's a different aspect of your life. When we're talking about Varna, then we're talking about the specific driving force which drives you forward, which motivates you to do certain work. But then we can arrange our life in a very sattvic way, and by arranging our life which we live in a sattvic way, we technically can be called Brahmana because Brahman means predominantly Sattva Gun. But our motivation for work will be still a little separate. So sometimes Prabhupada uses Brahmana in a sense that it is somebody who is living very sattvic life. And it's more broad sense, so to speak. And when he's saying that first you have to become Brahman, that you become Vaishnava, he basically means that in your life you try to increase sattvic aspect, become more sattvic, get up early, live sattvic people. This is Brahmana in a very broad sense, not in a technical sense. When Prabhupada speaks, and sometimes he speaks about Brahmana in a technical sense, with specific qualities, and which do not necessarily develop in the people of different nature, even if they live sattvic life. Like, it doesn't mean that if you live sattvic life, then you will develop inclination to teach other people or to study yourself. You still may not be so much inclined. So some taste will be there for studying, but still generally your driving force in your activity will be different. So this, when we confuse these two things, then it becomes very difficult. We should be very clear that there is a broad sense of Brahmana being somebody who is cultivating the sattva gun, and there is more technical sense of Brahmana being Brahmana by profession, so to speak, or by inclinations and inspiration to work. Was very much inspired. So, did I answer your question?
Yes, I just wanted to clarify. So does that mean you were saying our nature is our motivation? So is that something that we're innately born with and is fixed for us? And that's what we should try to cultivate throughout this life and turn it into sattva gun?
Yes, the predominant motivation is definitely there in our nature. Sometimes we have mixed natures. We all belong to this Varna Sankara category with mixed motivation. But even with this mixed motivation, so mixed natures, still one motivation is more prominent. And yes, we should try to develop the nature. That's basically what Varnashrama Dharma is all about. To explain to people what is their nature and try to develop it to the best, to develop it to the best of their abilities. And in the meantime, we should all cultivate sattva gun, definitely, in all aspects of our life. But still, motivation will be there, and we should follow the motivation. We should follow the heart. We should not imitate somebody else, because, as Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, that other path is very dangerous. Bhayapaha. Paradharma Bhayapaha. If you try to follow, like Arjun, he wanted to become basically sannyasi, brahmana, and Krishna said, forget about it. It's not going to work. Even if you become beggar, very soon you will have army of beggars under your command. And you will become the leader of the beggars. And you will start doing something which is not very conducive in the beggar's life. So don't try. It's not your dharma. It's not your nature. But at the same time, cultivate sattva guna and ultimately cultivate your devotional inclinations.
Thank you so much, Guru Maharaj.
Yes, Vrindavan Vinodini.
Hi, Krishna Maharaj. Thank you so much. My obeisances. My question was regarding, we hear in the Gita of this hierarchy of the senses, the mind, and the intelligence, and that the intelligence is supposed to control the mind. And in some of your lectures, you also speak about how this intelligence is different, that this is not the intelligence that is born out of, as we hear in the third canto, the mode of passion, but rather this is the intelligence from the Mahatattva. And I wanted to understand this more deeply, because if I recall correctly, you also said that to access this intelligence of the Mahatattva, it requires that our false ego completely disappear. And so then how do we understand this?
No, I think there is some confusion here. The first confusion is that, yes, in Sankhya, Mahatattva or Chitta is called Buddhi. And this is not the Buddhi which is described by Kapila Dev in third canto, which is the outcome of the or transformation, vikara, of ego in the mode of passion. So, and then, then there is Buddhi in the sense of Sankhya philosophers. There is Buddhi in the sense which Kapila Dev explains how this is some evolute of ego in the mode of passion. And there is Buddhi which Krishna uses. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna uses Buddhi in a different way. So it's all slightly different aspects of the same thing. When Krishna speaks about Buddhi in Bhagavad Gita, let's not confuse it with Sankhya philosophy or even Kapila's Sankhya. Let's strictly take what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. In Bhagavad Gita, he more or less follows Katha Upanishad. And Katha Upanishad has this allegory that the body is like chariot, the senses, the five senses are five horses, and the manas is the reins, and intelligence, Buddhi, is the charioteer, and the soul is just sitting there in this chariot. And the Buddhi, in this sense, is the higher faculty of our mind. There is emotional mind, which is very closely connected with our senses. And it basically, more or less follows the senses. But then there is Buddhi, and Buddhi in this sense is this higher aspect of our mind, which says this is good, this is not good. This is Dharma, this is Adharma. This is what you should do, this is what you should not do. Because if you do this, the consequences will be like this. So he's called Sarathi, the charioteer, or the how you call the somebody who is driving the chariot, because horses are blind. The chariot itself is blind. The reins of the horses, they're also blind. So the only two things are conscious is the somebody who is sitting in the chariot, and he says, I want to come to this destination. And to whom does he say this? He says this to his, somebody who is driving his chariot, to the Buddhi. So Buddhi, in this sense, it's from the Sanskrit root bodh, which means to be awake. It's an awakened intelligence which can foresee the consequences, intelligence which is, which can drive the chariot and, control the horses and everything else. So this is slightly different. It's a different use of it. Now, how it is connected with, it's definitely not Mahatattva. When we are talking about the Buddhi in the sense which Krishna uses. Krishna says sometimes Srila Prabhupada, he translates Buddhi Yoga in Bhagavad Gita as Bhakti Yoga. Why? Because Krishna directly says in the 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam Yanamam Apayanti Te. I am giving you this intelligence. I, the Supreme Lord, give you intelligence by which, Yana, by which you will be able to come to me. So, this is Krishna's definition. He gives the intelligence, he gives this faculty, so to speak, to discriminate right from wrong, because the Buddhi has this discriminating ability, then we can say that it can be spiritual intelligence and can be material intelligence. Material intelligence is discriminating, and therefore it's coming from Rajagun. Discrimination is connected with Rajagun. Rajagun is saying this is higher, this is lower, this is better, this is worse. But when we're talking about Buddhi in spiritual sense, spiritual intelligence, it basically means that the intelligence given by Krishna, it also has this element of discriminating. Therefore, it's somewhat remotely connected with Rajagun, but it's still different sense in which Krishna uses it.
Okay, so
this is the discriminating faculty of our mind, which can be trained in spiritual terms, and by this training, it will bring us to desired destination.
and from what I heard, this intelligence is, and maybe this is the limitations of the English language, but you were saying it's the higher faculty of the mind. There's the emotional mind, right? And that is just completely connected to the senses of I want this, I don't like this, based in raga and dvesha. But this higher mind, I guess for myself, I've always thought it kind of different, that intelligence is different from the mind. But again, maybe that's just the limitations of English, that this is really that power that we cultivate through Shastra, through hearing, and that can actually, for us as spiritual practitioners, is Krishna's words really helping to guide our life and to make the proper decision.
That's the faculty, yes, exactly. But also even normal people, normal quote unquote, even ordinary people who may not be so much trained in the Shastra, but still have some understanding of this is good, this is bad, they still have this faculty which says to them that this is not good, don't do this, it will not have good consequences. So devotees, they specifically cultivate this faculty by reading Shastra, by associating with devotees, but the faculty is there in our mind given by Krishna, and that's why we belong to this very privileged species of life, which is called human, because we have this intelligence.
Okay, thank you so much, Maharaj. Really appreciate it.
So our time is coming close. We can still have 2 questions, 3 questions, or how many? You want to ask the question from the chat? No. Smriti already asked your questions. Maybe Sandhya Avatar can ask his question. He'll probably ask in Russian.
Hare Krishna, dear Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. On glory to Srila Prabhupada. Very glad to see you. I try to ask in English. At what stage of spiritual development does a devotee, while chanting Hare Krishna, realize that each name is personally Radha and Krishna, with whom they have an individual relationship, and that they are non-different from their names?
Yeah, when we chant purely, You know, this identity of Krishna and his name, or Hare Krishna mantra and Krishna, is fully revealed only in the higher stages of realization. In the beginning stages of realization, we should have theoretical knowledge of it, that the holy name is not different from Krishna, and therefore I should give full respect to the holy name. I should not indulge myself in just wandering with my mind while chanting, while mumbling something. So, but the full identity of Krishna and his name can only be revealed in the highest stages. It's like, you know, Srimati Radharani, whenever she says Krishna, Krishna manifests. So whenever she looks, Krishna manifests there. So, you know, you can have a little glimpse of the identity of Krishna and his name, especially in Kirtan, when you feel the overwhelming power of the holy name, how the holy name is really powerful and how it brings you into another realm of dimension of reality. But the full realization, before you have Krishna Prema, you will not realize it fully. So you still have some time and some work to do.
Thank you.
Okay, so we'll come back tomorrow. What? Yeah. Shall we come back tomorrow? Yeah. We can, since there are some other questions, we can tomorrow again have our session. Today is less participants. Okay, so we can try tomorrow, right? Tomorrow is Saturday, and then let's see. Maybe Amrita Lila can ask her question, and then Smriti can keep her question for tomorrow.
Hare Krishna, please accept my obeisances. Thank you for letting me ask a question. Prabhuji was asking earlier about how to make progress in spiritual life, and I know that sadhusanga is the answer to most problems that we may have. But then we hear statements like, oh, Bhaktivinoda Thakur said that in order to have a real sadhusanga, you need like heaps and heaps of sukriti, which you accumulate by chanting a lot. And I'm like, well, I can't chant a lot unless I have sadhusanga, because I'm not so inspired. I understand that I need to, but so I feel a bit stuck in this. So.
Well, if you chant a lot and you acquire heaps of sukriti by chanting a lot, it will bring you to a very high level of sadhusanga. But it doesn't mean that on your in your present conditions, you cannot have sadhusanga. It may not be sadhusanga of the same sort of level and quality and perfection. But still, when I was giving this advice, I was mostly saying that we should remain in the association of devotees, because in the association of devotees, we can remain humble. We can remain ourselves. We can remain, you know, we don't have to feel that we need to pretend to be something else and whatever. So if we have association of this kind, of sincere people who are sincerely trying to develop sadhana and to develop devotional qualities, that's also sadhu sangha. And we should be very happy that we have this kind of sadhu sangha. And then in this kind of sadhu sangha, we will chant more. And by chanting more, we may come to a higher sadhu sangha. It is a very simple, logical answer to this conundrum. All right.
Thank you.
So I guess we finish for today. Yes. So thank you very much for joining this sessions, and yeah, I hope it was useful for you. So,
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Guru Maharaj, for your
Thank you very
valuable
much.
time. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Maharaj.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Maharaj. Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Thank you very much, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
see so many of you. I don't see many others, but still, I'm very, very. If you could turn on your cameras, I would be very grateful for a second. Yes, now I see many more faces. Okay, so yes. Oh, Bhagavata Prabhu, you're here. Very happy to see you. Okay.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, I'm most happy to listen to your wonderful answers. Thank you very much.
All right. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Krishna Maharaj, Dandvat Pranam.
Hare